The idea is for us to understand what do we mean by use cases and brainstorming. How do you pick use cases, evaluate them? This has nothing to do with pure blockchain. Okay, this has to do with if we are trying to say, okay, I want to create a rocket, send it to moon. How much does it cost? Does it have business value to do it that way? And how do we evaluate our parameter? Who is going to pay for that? And who are the customers that are going to come into picture and things like that? So we look at a model to do that. So there is a guy by the name Osterwalder who created an excellent example called business model canvas. Okay, anybody heard about business model canvas before? Okay, at least from the core team we have used it before. So then we'll also talk about how did this Osterwalder model come into picture for our use case evaluation. How is that helpful in terms of doing things further? Then one more thing is, so you might have heard this before, blockchain is not the silver bullet or the magic bullet that solves every problem. So there are some decision models around whether blockchain is right for you or not. Okay, right for the use case or not. So there is one decision model that we'll see from World Economic Forum. There are many decision models that are available as to how do you evaluate your blockchain. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Look at why we need to pick blockchain in that case. So what we are hoping is, even when you do one-sliders, because we are doing it in terms of blockchain context, in the proposed solution you also mention about how is blockchain relevant to that solution. Okay. If it can be done without blockchain, why do we need to come to blockchain to do that? Right? So that is something that is very important to answer, because if it is not a blockchain problem, it may not make sense for us to pick the use case and build that entire stuff on blockchain. Okay.
It is not here.
Right? Then we'll hear from Osterwalder himself as to what he has to say about business model canvas. This link is posted on our Slack group. So how many of you have found Osterwalder's business model canvas? 1, 2, 3. I mean, of course, because we posted, we have found okay, but this means that you need to keep following what we share and go through these things. That way, when you come back, we'll try to make sure we don't have to do this. Okay, these 6 minutes that we spent watching Osterwalder need not be spent today if everybody watched. Okay, but we need to get everybody of you to the level setting plane as to what this canvas is and all of that. And it's better we hear from him directly instead of watching that YouTube video than me explain, because I'm not the one who created it, and probably I'll not do enough justice like him. Okay, so we'll hear from the creator itself about this. Okay, so
he's coming. Rishi will come.
So this is one about the decisioning, but let's talk about this once we talk about the business model canvas from Osterwalder. Just check if the audio is coming properly.
So we invented something called the business model canvas. And the business model canvas is like a canvas to paint on. You can describe existing business models, you can describe new business models, you can challenge business models, and ultimately you can use it to invent new business models with the same language. Why the word canvas? Because you can paint out an existing business model or a new business model and make it tangible. So let's look into this. It's about 9 building blocks. The first building block is customer segments. You need to ask yourself, which customers are you serving in your business? Let's look at a newspaper. What are the customer segments of the newspaper? Well, in fact, there are mainly 2. The readers, who want to be informed and entertained, and the advertisers, who want to reach an audience and sell something. So 2 different customer segments with 2 different jobs to be done. And for both segments and both jobs, you will have a different value proposition. A set of products and services that will help the customer get the job done. So once you know who you're targeting and what you're offering, you need to ask yourself, how do these customers want to be reached? Through which channels? Through which channels do they want to communicate with me as a company, as an organization? Through which channels do they want to receive the goods? Is it a physical channel? Is it a digital channel? Are we talking about stores? Are we talking about direct channels? Are we talking about indirect channels? So ask yourself, how does each customer segment want to be reached? The next block is about the customer relationships you establish. So if you're a Swiss private bank, you will have a very personal relationship. A banker will try to build up a very personal relationship with a wealthy family, maybe even over generations. That will have implications on the rest of the business model, because it will be people-based, very personal, but not very scalable. If you're Amazon, what do you think? Does Amazon have a personal relationship with us? Well, not personal in the sense of a private bank, but personalized, because they understand our buying behavior and they recommend books to us. So Amazon will have a very automated relationship, but personalized, based on systems, based on computers, based on servers. So very different and much more scalable. Now you could also look at it in a different way. So Steve Wang uses the customer relationships to describe how you get, keep, and grow customers, which is a very important point. Because customers, you need to acquire them first. And once you have them, you better figure out how you're going to keep them. And if you don't have enough customers, it's not going to work out, so you want to grow. The next question is, what are people or companies that you're serving really willing to pay for? And how? Do they want to pay for something that they buy? Do they want to pay a subscription? Are they going to pay a licensing fee? And through which pricing mechanisms? Remember, we mentioned Google? Google is auctioning off their search terms for advertising. They're not just selling them. That makes them much richer than if they would just sell them. So that's the right-hand part of the business model canvas. The part that shows which value you're creating, for whom, and how you're delivering that, and how you're capturing value for yourself as an organization. Now we want to look at the left-hand side of the canvas, where we ask ourselves, how are we going to do it? What do we need to create value? The first question is, which resources do I really need to create value? Do I need factories? Do I need a brand? Do I need intellectual property? Do I need servers? What are the key things that you need to have to create that value that you're promising on the right-hand side? And then the next question is, well, we know what we need to have, but what is it that we really need to do, that we really need to be good at in our business model? Which activities do we need to excel at? Is it marketing and sales? Is it research and development? Is it managing servers? What are those activities that are crucial in our business model? And since we're in the 21st century, we're not going to do everything ourselves. We're going to work with partners. So you want to ask yourself, in addition to suppliers, who are the key partners that can leverage your business model, that can turn your business model into something more powerful? So an interesting example here is the social gaming company Zynga, which built their entire business model, or a big chunk of it, on the back of Facebook, which became a partnership. And probably Zynga couldn't have scaled so quickly without using Facebook as a partner. Now, if you know all those three elements on the left-hand side of your canvas, very quickly you can sketch out what your core costs are. And then you have a big picture understanding of the logic of your business. All the pieces that you need to create, deliver, and capture value. All those elements that are important to succeed in business. Now, that's just a concept. Let's turn it into a real tool that we can use in our everyday work, where it really becomes a canvas on which we can paint out our business model. And I use sticky notes or a new tool called Statis to map out business models. That's very powerful because you will make it tangible. Ask yourself, what are or who are the customers? Sticky note. Well, if those are the customers, what value am I offering them? Sticky note. How am I reaching my customers? Sticky note. Oh, that's the value I'm creating, that's the way I'm delivering it. Well, what resources do I need? Sticky note. What activities do I need? Sticky note. So you can map out your entire business model. The business model you want to create or the business model that you already have. It will give you a clearer picture and a better understanding of all the pieces of your business model.
So these are 6 minutes that we spend in terms of understanding what a business model canvas is. So can we see a show of hands as to why we talked about business model canvas here? Does it seem relevant to talk about it on our one? Yes. Yeah, because a use case essentially is a business model, right? Whatever we are trying to do, we are trying to solve a problem. We need to understand how that comes into picture in terms of a business. Because ultimately you spend time and effort, you need somebody to pay for that, and not just that, after you build it, you need to succeed in doing that also. So this helps us do the homework in terms of what is important in terms of doing something, developing something, and all of that. So can we also see a show of hands as to how many of you have accent, problem understanding the accent of the speaker, whoever was saying last word. So everybody understood this clearly? So this is the model that he talked about, right? So this is the model that we can use for our use case simulations also. Okay? Unless we find a better one or somebody comes up with a better one. Okay? So same thing. Who are our key partners? What are the key activities that we need to do? Our key resources? What are our value proposition? What is the use case value proposition? And what kind of customer relationships we have or what we need to build? And the segments in which your customers are there, maybe demographics will come into picture there. The cost structure and who is paying for you, that's the most important part of the center. So now let's try to answer how many of you want to send a rocket to the moon? Right? So let's talk about those aspects, like how do we talk about these use cases and how do we do that?
And Rishi, are we going to do use cases next? As we discussed, I think we're going to do it next time as well, right? At least evaluate use cases if people can. So, along with the business model canvas, I would also try to propose that although the model talks value proposition, right? But if we can get some value proposition in terms of absolute numbers, that would be great as well. Because I was thinking to myself, hey, I have proposed a solution, so mine is around healthcare, which I will propose in some time. But again, if we were to actually go to a hospital and if I were to be in my sales team, and the entire objective of our team is to at least create a proof of concept that can be applied in an industry and possibly applied say by a hospital. It would be great if we can have numbers around or some tangible value to it, because the more we read about blockchain and its use cases, especially in something like a supply chain, the entire framework and the architecture and implementation is more or less the same. Across industries, it's just the same thing. It's tracking from source to the consumer. But the value that one will get out of, say, in an industry like a pharma, as you were talking about, where you can track your pharmaceutical drugs from one place to another, versus maybe say in a luxury goods we can track counterfeit goods from source to the consumer. The value proposition will be different in terms of numbers. And if we were to come up with an evaluation which is the best use case, I guess we have to do that analysis before we come and then include that in the
yeah. And it's a good way to but how do you arrive at that number?
At least a very high level number if we can do something. Otherwise, we'll just end up looking at number of sentences like value proposition has there a 5 different statements there or something like that.
Not by that, not by number
Or
of
maybe-
sentences
Or
written.
maybe in the, I'm just saying, if
You'll have a business weightage in terms of use. I mean, we did use this model in the past, and we made sure that. So, when you try to apply a use case to this model, you need to do a lot of research.
Exactly.
In terms of how do you, I mean, who are your key partners? Do we have immediate answers for that? If not, we need to find out who and how we have to do that.
I was just saying, if somebody can come up with numbers and at least has some sort of an idea from the business model like he has, then it would help us make this decision better. Is what it is.
Probably you guys have already done a lot of see because I don't know, I mean, that also
All we'll do is we'll help you
Yeah.
answer the questions about
Yeah.
what's their misuse.
but yeah, I see your point.
Yeah.
So
If
if you are
we
trying
can
to
do-
solve something very fancy which blockchain does make sense but does not have a value proposition, does not have a mass.
Exactly.
Probably not.
That's
But
where
when
the
we are
carrot
something, I don't think we can go wrong. But yeah, what kind of exact thing you are picking up? Are we not about what are the industry standards? What are
Exactly.
the region standards?
Yeah.
All that comes. I'm sure.
Yeah, there are a lot of parameters
Yeah.
because a use case is only at a 100,000 feet,
Exactly.
right? So you're talking at this level. So once you trickle that down into what technologies needs to come and all that, so that's where the next presentation is also going to help in terms of how do you choose design and all of these activities, right? Okay, anyway, let me say that we don't do this design now.
Yeah.
This decision matrix now. Okay, let's talk about the use cases. Raju, how are you doing on time? You done with this? Am I done with the 20 minutes I have?
Yeah.
So let's have Sachin, I mean, because we also prepared him in in the intent that we need to apply a use case on the business model canvas and how that is done. Let's take a look at what he has to say about this slide, and then we'll see him apply this onto the business model canvas. So you have got 8 minutes. That's including the
Because the use case that I'm talking about here is, I think most of us are aware in terms of when we go to a doctor, we have the prescriptions and medical history, but we do not have a digitized format. Probably we go to a second consultant doctor, we have to take the same paper again. If we lose it, we do not, the other doctor doesn't know what has been talked about in the first doctor. So that's the sort of a problem we are looking at, right? The current healthcare system is pretty inefficient, cumbersome, as well as costly in terms of sharing medical records, right? Between patients and doctors and then doing consultations. Also, it's paper-based; it has to be physically carried. That's something that can be solved even by current centralized databases. But we are looking at solving other problems as well, right? So again, it's expensive, a fees charged every time a new record is made. Also, mobile workflows, what I mean is, today probably when I Hyderabad, tomorrow I go to Delhi and have to come in. Our current lives is such that we are quite mobile, we move across city, right? All these things are a problem. So, and these are the problems that I mentioned even in the current centralized databases. There is security risk, and most importantly, the current technology doesn't enable us to trust everyone who's in the network. And that's obviously one of the bases of why we are using blockchain. Also, whatever talk here, control and sharing of data, I'll come back to it in a minute. So the solution that we propose is, we could probably have an initial layer, data layer, where the existing hospitals, say an Apollo or a Fortis, can get their patient data onto our blockchain network. Get all that would be the first phase of the network, because it's really important to have that common data network where the existing databases can plug into, right? That will create a secure data record stream that I mentioned there. And then all the doctors and the patients will record their data onto the network once we have that. Okay. For that, we will obviously have an interface, some sort of an app, which is a decentralized app, which will be used both by the doctors as well as the patients. On the doctors and the hospitals end, doctor will enter his consultation and medical records, as well as the lab reports and stuff. And the patient on the app can see the medical records, as well as provide access to the doctors and the other hospitals. Possibly at a later stages, we can also have something like a Practo, which what they're doing is providing appointments, bills, insurance claims, all those things on the platform itself, but that's again next phase what they look at. And as I said, once a doctor you have consulted on a doctor, you move on to the next hospital or doctor, you can see your medical records and history as well. The benefits are the same as any other blockchain application. It reduces the healthcare costs in this case. It improves the quality of care for the patient because the doctors can see what is the medical history. Secure, transparent framework is the usual for the blockchain application. One thing that is also possible here is currently the medical research that happens, we do not have much data in terms of, Google and other companies are trying to provide analytics and try and predict cancer and those sort of medical diseases, but do not have a lot of data. Here, if we have data which is digitized, two things can happen. One, that data is readily available for such research. Two, the patient who is the owner of that information can provide access to the relevant medical researches as per his or her own will, and can also be able to monetize that sort of data. So that is something that is also possible in such an environment. And as I said, trust and public verification is what I talked about right now. So this is the use case that I have. On the right hand side are just the stakeholders involved, patients, doctors, hospitals, and the usual. Applicable industries have also written medical insurance because insurance companies can use this data to claim to settle claims, right? Because you have sort of a trusted, centralized, trusted network where you know that such a transaction or such an operation did happen, and so settling claims would be much easier. So fraud claims can be removed in such an environment. Again, competitors are basically the existing healthcare software solutions and IT providers, and possibly the likes of Platform, which are currently available. Yes.
So before we move on to question and answers, let's also look at how we plan to cover this.
Yeah, and Suman has finally.
We'll do that separately. So here we'll show what you have built in terms of the.
Yes. I tried to evaluate this on a BMC just before we started the session. So quite of it, maybe a few of the things here that I may have put in a rush and maybe wrong as well. But this is how I see it. Right? Now, can we start with this customer segment first? Because I think that would be a first start. So, as I said, in this application, the customers would be the hospital, clinics, and private doctors, right? But also research centers and insurance companies, as I explained this now. How are the channels they would reach it are the usual digital channels, website, apps, or emails, and other partnerships. The value proposition that a hospital has to use our application is digitization of records, which are immutable, access to patients' medical records from other hospitals, provided that they do give access to that data. For insurance space, you can forward this data, and for them, the ability to provide better and quicker care, right? One thing here is the revenue streams would be just usage fees and maintenance of a contract, which is for any application in the industry. Yeah. And lastly, on the left-hand side, on key partners, I have again mentioned hospitals because what I believe in such an environment would be, I don't know if you guys are aware of network effects, but network effects basically say that the larger number of people in your network, the greater is the value, right? In such an environment, or any blockchain environment, the more number of hospitals and insurance companies are there, the more is the incentive for the current hospital to be on that blockchain system. Because if I am a hospital and I have just one other hospital who's on that blockchain network, there's no use of that because I can only access that record. But I have say 500,000 other hospitals, then there is more incentive to me to be in that network. Same, private doctors, patients, and medical staff are the key partners, and the cost structure is the initial investment that they would have to put in this software. And the key resources for us would be, as I said, network effects. If we have a large number of hospitals in that network, and also our team's capabilities, which what we have at the I think did I cover all of them?
You sent me two images, are they both the same?
I sent you to I just already sent you this.
So are we good in terms of covering business model?
Yes, this is how I think the business model canvas would look like for this use case, but I may be wrong as well, but we got a good understanding of what I propose.
So,
Sure.
this is a medical data. So before that, let's time box this. There are 5 minutes in which people can ask questions.
Okay.
I have one question, but I'll ask it at the end.
This is a medical database, sensitive information, right? Where government might insist, because it's decentralized application, government control will not be effective. So how do you think the government will be regulations will come in picture?
Again, this is something that I think about with the government regulations and all of these things. But I'm not sure what are the current government regulations are. If you can throw some light on the medical records.
I don't think they have any regulation, but in general, in the US, we have we should not take the medical data out of the borders. Even states also they have rules that you should not take the US state medical data out of the
And we have something like this in India.
I don't know.
If we may have, then we may have to look at it.
My second question is, why the hospital has to invest in uploading data? Because it's not physical files, right? The physical files uploading will not be doing anything here. They have to convert it to some data and upload it. So currently, if you see governments are in the country, the doctors are heavily stressed actually. They can't spend more time on accessing medical data in here. And obviously, what is the benefit or revenue model for them? What benefits doctors to do this actually?
What is the benefit for the hospitals?
The hospitals and doctors to spend more time on this.
So
Doctors
doctors,
they will spend more time on patients, right?
yeah, that's fine.
So, Sajjan, let's try to simplify the question. One question is, how do we make
doctor.
sure privacy of the data is addressed
Yeah.
and the region borders or whatever that is. Second one is, how are hospitals and doctors benefiting out of this?
Yeah, the regions and borders, as I said, I do not know the current regulations in India. If there are that
This is something we are targeting for India.
yeah, this is something.
Sorry,
Other culture, others going.
We were looking at it locally.
This is more sensitive than in other culture.
So let's get to the question.
The second question being, what is the benefit for the doctors? As I said, the benefit for the doctors and the organization would be able to provide better healthcare because if a doctor is able to understand a patient's medical history, there's nothing like it, right? And if on an application like this, they will have known what he has already undergone through other doctors, and he has it. So only there will be I can understand your point that instead of doctors writing on a paper, they probably have to write it on a
But I
digital
think
thing.
doctors will spend time, right? They will use their own system here.
Exactly.
Everything is digital today. If
Yeah.
you go to a smaller clinic as a will put it on his tab or something, and will integrate with the back.
Instead of writing on a paper,
For example, if you take this is very right? If you take for example insurance argument, insurance claims,
yeah.
this is very specific approach. Then anyway the proper documentation everything goes. Current system currently, doctor's prescription model is not unique or any standardized model.
But
There are something on paper and grades.
we would have seen EMR, right? Electronic medical records and on all of these things. So when doctor prescription, so this is what happened to me when I was in US. Doctor said, I wrote a prescription, pick it up in Walmart. They ask you which address you want to pick up and all of that. So I don't have to tell Walmart that what is the prescription. All I need to go there is say my name going there, and they'll give me the medicines that I need.
Because there the systems are far more matured, it's all digitally all connected. When we are looking for India, I might go and buy a med from a medical shop, you will not give me a prescription. So insurance probably might not trust what some blockchain because I might have done something outside.
So when you go to second opinion to doctors, if already the doctor can see you got my first opinion, why you will give second opinion?
But let's also let's also give somebody, please don't mind, somebody else also need to get an opportunity to ask the question. Let's see what are the questions.
I have one question. Whose page is cost for this? Because you mentioned here the
Usage fee.
key partners are like private doctors, patients, and healthcare organizations. So, see, for example, if you go for healthcare providing organizations like hospitals, okay, hospitals are actually just like business organizations want to retain their customers, here the patients. Okay, if you go for this sort of technology or this sort of application, so you are actually giving a leeway, or you are actually giving an opportunity for the patient to go to other hospital, or you know, and the hospital may have a chance to lose their customers also. So and one more thing is the private doctors also, who will bear that cost? For example,
Let's simplify this question because the question is very lengthy.
The first question
Revenue
being-
streams is where you said who is going to foot the bill, right?
Yeah.
So you said usage fees, maintenance, and service contract.
Yes, as I said, I mean, the main balance would be around providing, being able, for the hospitals, if they believe that they will be able to provide better healthcare for their patients through the availability of data, that is where the most value will come out of it.
so
That's what
already
it
there.
is.
That is also there. Keeping in view the
yes.
you know, data privacy issues or whatever is
To
there.
be honest, yes, it's
The
a
hospitals
matter
will
of
not be ready
it's
to
a matter
share
of
the-
convincing them, but such solutions are actually already out there, which are working in somewhere in Europe. That's where I took this understood this idea as well.
Yeah.
But I understand your concern that especially in a place like India, people have that incentive of keeping the customer within the hospital, but such an environment is actually such an application is already live and working.
And one more thing is
Key solution is to make an EMR, right? Create an EMR database is your key solution.
Yeah, EMR as well as a chain of medical history.
Usually,
That would be which
Which is EMR.
usually for solutions to exist at the top level, there are some building blocks, which is one of them is what you're saying in terms of EMR. So this relies on something like that to happen. And whether we build that or we let somebody build that and leverage that platform again is a business model, right?
Yes.
So either way, we have timer. Last question. Have you looked at? So you mentioned in terms of competitors that existing IT solutions, but have you looked at blockchain-based solutions that? So have you looked at blockchain-based solutions in this regard? Because there are some companies trying to solve this solution. Patient tree is one.
Okay.
Patient. So just look for
Patient. So existing blockchain solutions as well. Yeah, there are existing blockchain solutions. Right.
How would we differ in terms of a blockchain solution if we pick up this use case?
Again, I haven't given it much thought. I don't know what are the features of that one, but yeah, those sort of things.
you also mentioned, sorry to interrupt, you also mentioned that patients to be incentivized.
So if somebody, some research institute is going to use your data, then or as per your authentication, this research institute can use this data. Maybe if it is within the boundaries of that country, you can do it.
Consensual usage can be there.
Is it through conventional way like fiat currency or like a cryptocurrency something like that?
That can be through
Can be fiat,
conventional
right?
currency. Yeah, can be currency.
Can be fiat.
Yeah. And especially that will only increase the burden among hospitals to use. Yeah, normal currency.
So the idea here is we submit our identity at some you go to a bank and you submit your identity. Different, let's say, insurance company. The problem is we are submitting our identity in multiple places. There are all these data sellers, our identity is getting stored. We don't know what they are doing. There is no guarantee whether intentionally they might share or hacker might hack the database and then get the other numbers, bad numbers. So one of the problems that we are trying to understand is how do we put identity in our country? It's a government responsibility basically. Right? So how do we put my identity I should be able to share to anyone and I should be able to revoke. I do not want the insurance company to store my identity, I do not want different players to store my identity in their database because of the security issues. Right? And the other thing is today if you want to say employ a thingy board, right? How do I know is it really passed a university degree which is certified by the university, right? There are a lot of fake certificates going on. How do we do a background verification? It's not just in the education industry, it's also even in the, let's say I'm changing a company. right? Employment. So even how does these employers can verify our background, right? Really details how this many years in this company, right? So what we are trying to do here is we want to store all this identity in the blockchain network. When I say we will not store the data directly, there are several off-chain solutions. So anybody who has a concern on the scalability, we can talk about in my design consultations. And then whenever, let's say you went to an insurance company or bank, they need to request a permission what identity tools that you want. Let's say you want, hey, your driving license. All you need is you will get a notification and then do a approve. Then only they can see. And then you can control how far you can, let's say, hey, next 1 week until their approval done, they can access. After that, it will automatically get revoked. Right? So, and now the thing is, if you look at nobody storing your data. That my identity is my control. And whenever people want, I can give an access. Whenever I feel like okay, I can revoke the access for that identity. Right? So that's all about the whole use case.
So 2 minutes for questions, maybe 1 or 2.
Government already removed the KYC concept. That means nobody can explore your data. Because KYC related to get
No, the problem is
Aadhaar is the only thing that's removed. Not the entire KYC.
I think the KYC is still
see the problem is
what was passed but not implemented.
the whole point is as long as you are paper based, you cannot prevent the theft or security issue. You have to convert it into digitized. Now if we convert it into digitized, now we have centralized system and then decentralized system. Centralized system is what we have. Now if they convert it to digitized and then go with centralized system, then who is going to maintain that?
Decentralized means who is going to maintain?
All the parties on this network. For example, select a bank. If the bank is interested, they can come and join this network.
The bank will maintain the details means everything you are giving to the bank.
No, we are not giving you. The bank, let's say you went to a bank and apply for a loan. They want to verify, let's say, your identity. They need to request, hey, show me, give me an access to your driving license. Then you will get a notification. You have to approve.
Means a passport has to approve.
Yeah, that's all. You know, control.
Suppose I don't have any application to access.
That's why you get notification as part of this.
But where
Basically, as an end user, you should be the controller of your data, and nobody else should have that control. Who is hosting this network?
yeah.
This is when it comes to network, when it comes to this network, who are all interested to, let's say, banks, insurance companies, who are all interested to come on this network, they can come. It's not a single person who can control. It's not government might control, but the problem is, again, it's not hardware is not just government. All these parties, let's say banks, insurance companies, or schools, educational institutions, employers. So they have to.
They probably are the certifying authority if I produce an education certificate.
Yes, every participant in the network should have a public-private key business certificate generated. That's why whenever, let's say, I got an education certificate, let's say I have a you approved, okay, so I completed this certificate. Then that certificate has to sign with your private key, and that identity is stored on the blockchain, so that anybody can say that, okay, so by using your public key, they can verify, yes, you really given me, awarded me a certificate. I completed it.
Since I think 90% of the country has already having Aadhaar cards, right? Why can't you leverage that and just add your medical history to that? Instead of trying to build again our own EMR.
There are regulations also saying that private entities cannot use Aadhaar anymore.
You can work with government on that, right?
So, can you repeat this question?
What I'm saying is already Aadhaar card is available for almost 100 crore.
So you want us to pitch for government of India to apply for this?
Leverage that thing. I'm not saying pitch, leverage it whatever way possible. So we don't need to manage the PII data again. Right?
Government already has a DigiLocker.
Everything is available actually. Huge initiatives are happening with government. If you are talking about only the onboarding hospitals and history of patient, that is more easy.
This is different.
It's EMR. End of the day, you want to do EMR.
This is identity. This case is different.
You're saying that this record will be stored electronically.
Leveraging it.
How is it different from Civic? How is it different from Civic? Civic import.
Yeah, I had that same question.
Yeah, so that's why it
Because
is said
Civic and import also do the same thing, right? So how does this solution differ from that?
so that's why I can come up with that BL.
Okay, so
Then only I can come up with
questions are there. You can ask.
Oh, I have just done it now.
there is one more, and after that there is a design presentation too. And you'll have more questions in design presentation than what you're having here.
So myself, Pradeep Kumar, my just a picture first. So as a picture, then as a point.
So you have 5 minutes and 1 minute for questions. How much time you use for questions?
Okay. The reason I started blockchain is because it's aligned to my end goal. So my proposition and my idea is something which I wanted to do. So the point is, there is a anything on blockchain is basing on funds. It's basing on money, and the blockchain's biggest advantage is trust. And we lack trust in one point, where I give money to a charity. How that money is being spent is a question to every person who has given money. I donate some $1,000. Is it going to the end user or not? Bill Gates has given like $28 billion. Warren Buffett has given $40 billion till now. Is that money going to people in Africa? Has it been tracked to the end point? That's what my trust is. Because can Bill Gates trust that $40 billion has received? And did that Ebola virus issue got resolved? Because the World Health Organization spent a lot of money. So my use case is, initially I came up with a bigger one, but I'm just focusing on charity. So initially I started with something called poor shouldn't be more poor, because government sends a lot of money. How much money is being sent to the end user, to the villager, is no one knows that. So my use case is, it started with this, but it came to charity. So right now these are the problems I see. Is money reaching the required members? How much the intermediaries are stealing? There's a movie in Telugu called many movies are there. Nagarjuna, what is that? Sriram Das. In that scene, if you remember, initially he'll give you like a big ice brick, and at the end when he reaches, he'll get a small ice brick. Similarly, there are many intermediaries who are stealing the money, who are doing corruption. Third point is, are the donors feeling touched or not? So these questions raise me, why can't they implement blockchain into this? But it's a very big thing, and no entity will, no government organization will approve for this. But what if a person who wants to donate money, and we give a solution which is blockchain as a service solution? We provide a fast service to them where just come, register how much money you are giving, and the complete transactions would be done through bank only. Just the storing of transaction data will be done over here. This is just a layer on top of all the banking which is done. Apart from that, within Hyperledger we have something called peers, where every peer needs to agree. So similarly, when the money is coming from highest authority to the lowest authority, first NGO should agree. Then within Hyderabad NGO, who are the different mandal heads? Mandal head should agree. And within a school head, if a school head agrees that I have received this food, if I have received this material, then he'll approve it. Once it's approved, then it says that this mandal got the complete items which have to be donated. Then it goes to the highest authority. Then what Bill Gates would think, okay, I have sent $20 billion, and in Hyderabad, $1 million has been sent, and in this school, 10 lakhs has been sent. The transparency would come to the lowest level, and the trust which each person gets, a billionaire will get, is huge. And I don't think a person who is spending at $40 billion will not spend $1 billion in getting this solution as it. So my idea is just record all the transactions which are being done on the bank. Maybe right now how the charity is doing is, charity will send the money to PayPal. From the PayPal it comes to local authorities, banks, and from there the money gets. So what if we can add a layer to that? This part I just need to focus more. But next is link with the bank companies, how money is transferred, and response back from the aid receiver. For example, okay, fine. So these are different entities involved, NGOs, government, local body people. These are different peers who will give the transactions done, and it gives more accountability, transparency, and just the trust that funds are received. And these are the different industries and stakeholders involved. So this is my idea, a blockchain as a service for the charity aid being transferred successfully. That's it.
2 questions. Yes, only 2. Let's see who asks. Who is going to host?
Who is going to invest in hosting this? I mean, very noble solution.
Yes.
Who is going to spend?
Exactly. I mean, the people who are spending $40 billion, they want to have an, thus that there's some company. There's a company which actually says that I have give this much money.
They might give money. Who is going to host it and who is going to onboard NGOs? Who is going to onboard banks? Who is going to reach out people, onboard them?
People also maintaining the transactions.
Or else we can suggest 2% money for IT infrastructure.
But
That will be
you take a cut out of the charity being given.
to maintain the ledger.
If the billionaire wants his money to reach the
That is
so as to get the money. They want money.
Like,
Put the joint blockchain.
So, I mean,
Because blockchain is a service. Yeah, that's why I mentioned that.
So, I mean, as a blockchain service, as a school head, I'll come and register on the application. I'll have the access to that application because as a school head, I'll come, I'll just check whether the account required school head or not. And the school head will just say the transactions that I have received.
School head is a user, but who's gonna host the network? Who's gonna host the node?
So now
Who will be the participant on the network?
So what I see is basically the person who is giving money and who is receiving. Those are the two people who are happy.
Yes.
Probably the people who are not happy are the middle ones. And probably bank has nothing much to do here. They are anyway doing transaction. Somebody is eating away or something. But anyway, I mean, there has to be some incentive for everyone to come on. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, there is a merit. And we are trying to help the bottom of the line. But what are the incentive for others to come in?
Why do you exactly need a blockchain here?
Let him answer one by one. Let him answer one by one.
So the first question is like how can we incentivize the intermediaries? So intermediaries are
Before that, why do you need it?
why do we need this many intermediaries? There are so many intermediaries. Because
But the government sends who needs to go can go directly.
Then there is no need of
See, I see
this is not government, this is a person who is sending money. Whether that money is being sent to the required person or not. For example, I'm giving $1 billion and in which I am giving this charity. Within the charity, these are the members. Only those 10 members say that this
now
is
I
money.
somebody bottom of the line, okay, that
they can send it to the
probably can
government.
answer that question.
Okay, guys, one question. Next question.
One more question.
Yes, last question, please.
Yeah, why do you think exactly blockchain? Why can't we do it normal software?
Because at the end of the day, a school head, the end user is agreeing to it. Because right now what's happening is there will be a local government authority who says that I have received it. But what if I can replace it to the end user who is receiving it? They just have mobile application and Android app which says that receive. That's it.
That's what, why can't we do a software application which the end user can use like a mobile app? Why it has to be blockchain? The only thing is not a PD is holding, right? It's just using the application, right?
All the blockchain advantages which we have, like the touch, the immutability actually helps us.
Maybe it's trying to create an immutable track of how the
Yeah, only immutable is the only thing I don't see it.
Okay, so either way, I think this needs to get concluded in some way. So blockchain is being used here, it's being used for trust. There are no existing solutions that can help you track that last mile connectivity, but the problems will be how do you get more people to actually say they digitally say yes to something. So that will be the problem in this use.